Good morning. It's Diane at Two Girls Treasure in Florence, South Carolina. So if you notice right here, I have the brand new grapes. Have you played with these yet? They're so cute. The Iron Orchid Designs grapes stand. So I'm very excited to work with these, and I've got a neat project to use them with this morning. Stamping with paint. Now it's a little more challenging and a little bit different than stamping with ink. Paint is a little different because it's a little thicker. Yes, you can stamp with paint on fabric, you can stamp with paint on metal, you can stamp with paint on glass, you can stamp with paint anywhere else you would stamp with ink, and sometimes, depending on the material you're using, you can stamp with paint in more places than you can with ink. But I've made these cute little wooden toolboxes. Can you see that? You can back you up a little bit. How cute is that? Look, y'all, look how beautiful. I really would like to create a beautiful ode to France today. And I'm actually going to stamp these with our Rethunk Junk resin paint in Midnight. Midnight is one of my favorite colors to use as a base for anything. So I am going to pump out a little bit of our Midnight onto our acetate. I have my ever handy Iron Orchid Designs brayers. I want to compose my imagery first. And because this surface is limited in scope, I want to make sure where I place, but I do want to start on my longer, wider surface first. Don't forget to season these before you start. You want your paint or your ink to have something to grab hold to. You want to make sure you're giving a good image, the best image that you possibly could. Roll out a good thin layer. When you're using paint, be aware that it is thicker, and you do need it to be a thin, even coat on your brayer, or you will risk glopping. That's our word of the day. You will risk glopping the paint down into the grooves of your image. And then it'll just muddy up your image and it'll make you unhappy. It does not have to be perfect, as you can see. And I did not add the stem. Now, here's where your handy and ever important masks come into play. So we want the coordinating mask that matches this. Now, just simply lay it down on top of it. Match it best you can. I'll scooch this over because I want to make sure you understand what I mean. I get it in the paint, and then I roll and roll and roll. The reason, that nice, clean, thin line of material, so that when I cover my grapes, they're not goopy. Now, I do want a little extra because it's paint, not ink, because it's on bare wood, not painted surface. I want to make sure I've got a good load on my grapes without a muddy image. Now, my mask is over the top of my leaves, so I don't have to worry about where I place the grapes over the top of the leaf, because that mask is going to now protect my leaf image. So I lay down my grapes, impress my grape imagery, And voila, there are my grapes with a leaf with no damage to each other. And because I want this image to be the most prominent, now I will mask this. Right. So let's add another bunch of grapes. And let's get our large grape mask. There we go. And let's mask these so that we don't damage them. Keep that masked before you lay down the next one. I almost believe that this would be good right here. And once you place it, commit to it. All right, beautiful grapes. One image behind the other. I'm going to keep my mask on. I'm going to add the other mask to this bunch. And we are going to use pop goes the grape leaf. We're going to use this grape leaf stamp. This time, let's start from up here at the top side, and let's add our vines and leaves. If you can see where I'm working, I bobbled it, so I have black paint where I didn't intend for it to be. I think because of the nature of what I'm doing here, I think I can skeet by it without much damage. Now, as that dries, that water will dry because there's a good little bit of water on there. As that dries, the water will dry and it'll soften the look. Now, I'm going to add just a little bit of hazelnut shading on these leaves. And I think these two colors are going to coordinate perfectly. Denim and our violet shadow. Let me scoot them over so you can see them. Let's do some shading, y'all. Let's shade some grapes. Throw some shade. And I'm going to start with my denim. I want to richen it first. Decide which side of the grapes your light is going to come from. Can you see the change in the shading, the change in the shadowing? That'll be the change in the light that you have. So that was our denim. This is our violet shadow. But you get the idea of the shading, how we created the cast of light. With the stamp in black and the leaves colored in, and the stem, let me show you. So there's our end, that's uncolored. And I even think this would be amazing uncolored and just finished over, even sealed in just plain black and white. But how about that? Absolutely love it. And I really can see this as a centerpiece with your stamped hand towels and maybe some condiments right in the center of your kitchen island. This is Diane from Two Girls Treasure, and I will look forward to seeing you again real soon right here for Coffee and Create. Bye now.